But it sold for $50. So it's something that doesn't look like much. If you see it out there, I think you could pick this up for a few bucks without people knowing it's worth anything.
I've picked a few of them up throughout the years. I don't think I currently have one in my collection, but I've picked a few of them up throughout the years. $1 a piece.
Yeah.
They hide out places, and you can find them because a lot of people, the magazines never had the cachet that the comics did themselves.
Yep.
So people don't put a lot of value on the magazines, but I think the print runs were lower, and it's harder to get them in nice condition.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool. Moving on. Just mentioned this a few minutes ago. The San Diego Chicken. This is a mug from 1979. It ended up selling for $20. Doesn't look like anything. I didn't pay much for it, but there are diehard collectors out there for the
it's
chicken.
just a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you had said a mug. I thought a big mug, not a little coffee mug.
It's got wear around the rim and something. It was used, but still, how many could they have made of the San Diego Chicken? So
right. It may not even been a San Diego Chicken at that part. That might have been after he.
Could have, yeah. Very cool. But yeah, if you see it out there, you can grab it cheap, I'm sure. All right, this is why I like one of my employees, the listers. He always finds stuff to list. I probably would have put this in my collection because it didn't go for much. But again, it's a piece that I probably paid $1 for. He threw it up and it went for like $18 I took on it.
No, Sigma is the name of the brand.
Yeah, Sigma's. They did the porcelain line for Star Wars back in the 70s and 80s. But it's a Gamorrean Guard 5-inch. It's not much, but again, $20. I didn't even know I had it, and I'm sure I didn't pay much for it at all.
Now, how was that originally issued? By itself, or was it part of a set? Or?
No, I think they came just like that. I think no boxes. Those things
no box?
Yeah, it was more like a Hallmark store thing. They might have been hanging around a display or something like that.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
yeah.
But now it says hand paint.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be hand painted. Yeah, they did mugs. They did all kinds of stuff. They did jewelry.
Hand painted in the factory.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it was one. You know how they did those kits out there that you could paint yourself and all that? That's what I was wondering.
I don't know if Sigma did that. I think they were more like legit stuff, but let me see here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, see, that's...
Oh, yeah. No, that definitely was issued that way, yeah. Okay.
All right. But again, it doesn't look like much. It's not big, and they did all the characters, so porcelain vintage Star Wars is still good to pick up as
$20
well.
on that. You pick it up for $1 or $2 sitting on somebody's shelf.
Yeah, doesn't look like much, definitely. All right, I got a lot of questions on this one. 1977 Kenner Star Wars R2-D2 with the telescopic antenna there.
2 inches?
Yeah, he's a 2-inch figure. Yeah.
That is tiny.
Yeah, because the other guys are 3 3/4, and he's about half. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But I got a lot of people asking, is the sticker original? And the collection I bought was from a collector that was my age and had it, so I'm pretty sure he's had it for 30 years.
Oh, that's just the regular figure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Except it's got the telescopic saber right there. It comes up, sticks out there.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Pretty cool. But again, it went for $40. Great shape. If you see them out there, even in rougher condition, it's still worth $10, $20, $30.
Well, everybody had that figure.
Yeah.
That was one of the figures everybody had.
Definitely, yeah. All right, next up, Sports Illustrated, February 1988, Michael Jordan, cover, CGC 9.0. It's probably a mid-range grade on these, but still, I took, I think, $150 for it. Ungraded, $5-10. It's got a mailing label, so it's one of those things where, if you got the time and money, you can pick these up out there. It's, any Jordan cover, if they're high enough grade, get them graded and definitely make some money off that.
Right. Now, what's the turnaround time now on that?
Unfortunately, for the cheapest submission, it's like 8 months minimum for magazines. But good news is they restructured the cases for magazines. They're definitely more durable. They won't crack like the past they have. So.
Right.
All right. Next up. We had a big truck collection a few years ago without boxes. They've been sitting on these shelves for years. And I told my employee, I go, you know what? Pull them off the shelf. We're going to use the shelf for something else. They've been sitting here forever. Clean them up and list them. And this is just one of them on there. Red Cab. It must be the company, brand name, garbage truck. 150th scale, $137.
How big is 150th?
It's probably like 5-6 inches long.
Okay.
So yeah, but
wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't know anything about Red Cab, but now I do. So if you see Red Cab diecast, it's a higher end diecast.
Wow.
All right, next up, I think we showed this before in the past. British Bulldog Lex Luthor autographed 8x10 promotional photo. So we sold this for $540 last time.
Okay.
The guy said the signatures are real, but the photo itself is a reproduction because the back was had Kodak or something on it. The originals didn't have any. You can see how.
Okay.
Well, it does say Kodak if you zoom in on it. But so he returned it. He said, the photos a reproduction, signatures are real. We relisted it and we showed the back of it so they know what they're getting, and it sold again for the same price.
Same price. Yeah.
And he paid, so he must know what it is. And because if you think about how much could the photo be I would think the autographs are the
Right.
most valuable part of them two together as well. So let's see here, and there we have it. We are done for me.
Nice. Well, thank you, Mr. Magazine. And what did I bring you? Well, since you asked, The Story of Ming by Chang Yi, Puffin Picture Book, Panda Bear.
Oh, this is a mouthful.
It is. 7 by 8 3/4 book. I didn't list the number of pages, which I probably should have. It's probably 16 pages, something rather like that. Just a little book, nothing at all really. And I ended up getting $24 out of it.
Wow.
I picked it up at a flea market in 2022, and the reason why I bought it is because I knew it was Chinese and had the Chinese characters on it. Now it isn't actually Chinese; it's Puffin, but anything Chinese does end up selling. And to get $24 out of something rather like this, I'm more than happy about it. It's a nothing little book as far as, again, the size and all that kind of deal. So China sells, and maybe somebody bought it because they collect panda bears. Who knows exactly why. But for whatever reason, $24 out of this. Happy with that.
Cool.
Next up, Miami Zoo, Metro Zoo Map and Activity Guide for the 1980s. You probably went to the Miami Zoo in the 1980s, and you probably had this. And you probably threw it out.
If I did, I don't remember I've been there. But, who knows?
$28, blank back, and that literally is what it looks like. Folded down.
The old rare blank backs, very popular in the sports card industry.
But yeah, to get $28 out of something like that looks like nothing. And these are the kind of things that you can pick up at estate sales because people have gone there on vacation, saved this along with everything else. You probably would actually pay nothing for this if you're buying a bunch of other paperwork because they'll just look at it and go, okay, what is this? Who cares?
Oh, you paid nothing for it back in the 80s, too.
That is true. So it's not gone up in value unless you're paper guy. Next up, View Magazine. Speaking of paying nothing for something, free back in the day. September 1st, 1991, Metallica, Bad Brains, Goo Goo Dolls, Circle of Soul. If you don't watch our YouTube shorts, definitely do so. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we put up a short. It only takes up 30 seconds or so of your life. Definitely well worth doing. I mentioned this on there as well. There's always the free magazines out for whatever area you're in. If it's a larger metro area, there were free magazines. If you see them out there, pick them up because, again, remember, this was distributed in Buffalo, New York, and probably Niagara Falls. That's where it was at. If you are a Metallica fan in Cleveland, you've never seen this before. If you were in California, you've probably never seen this before. So you can get $34 out of something like this that was free just because a Metallica collector does not have it in his collection.
Free goy.
Yeah. Neither does a Goo Goo Doll collector or a Circle of Soul collector, as a matter of fact. Up next, Ernest Hemingway, In Our Time, 1977 facsimile limited to 1,700 copies. I think I took an $80 offer on this. Definitely do look for this book out there. It's not, obviously, a lot of them are not out there, but 170 of the original, and they reprinted it, I believe, 1,700 copies. Maybe I added another zero there. Definitely is a more difficult to find book though, and I always look at all the Hemingway books out there. What's a Hemingway? About 180 pounds. I always look at them when I'm out there because a lot of dealers are only looking for the firsts, and you actually can sell things that are not firsts of Hemingway as well. Just to let you know, it's one of the authors, Hemingway, Steinbeck, are authors that I always take a look at any books I see out there in the wild. Because even if they're not first prints, you can still sell them, and that's the whole key, is moving the stuff out. Next up, Sweetheart Party Pack Extra Long Drinking Straws, 1950s red. This actually sold to somebody out in Beverly Hills, so I'm wondering if they're not going to be using it for some TV show or something in the future.
Yeah.
Very well, maybe. I got $24 out of it. I paid $1 for it. Packaged straws, and it had all the straws in there. Well, I didn't actually count all 225, but it appeared to have all the straws in there. Again, things like this are out there, new old stock type deals. Happy to get $24 out of it off of $1.
I did hear they're going to start doing the 1950s show instead of the 70s.
There you go. You probably scarfed this right up off me.
Exactly.
Next up, New City Hall Grand March, Rochester, New York, sheet music, 1874. Took a $60 offer.
You're killing it with these sheet musics every week. Good for you.
I told you I'm going to try to learn sheet music this year. I actually paid the most for this as I've ever paid for a piece of sheet music. I paid $5 for this at a sale.
Whoa, yowzer.
But I said, you know something? It's from 1874. It's only from the Rochester area. Let me go take a chance on it. And sure enough, it ended up going for $60. I think I took an offer on it. So very happy with that. And again, that was one of my New Year's resolutions, was to try to learn sheet music a little more and sell a little more sheet music. So quite happy about that. So one of my New Year's resolutions I'm at least keeping.
Cool.
And finally, Doc Savage, Brotherhood of Bronze, 1977 fan club pin card mailer bulletin.
Looks familiar.
All that was all together, and somebody said, "Here, sell this stuff for me," and I went and sold the stuff for him. $107.50 at bids, free shipping, of course. Less fees. But
Nice.
Mr. Magazine actually had that sitting in a pile of stuff that he had that he brought over and said, "Here, sell this stuff for me." And I pulled this one item out, or this group of items
I'll
out.
start doing this more often.
Hey, you get free checks and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
You're happy, and it's not sitting
Sadly, if
around.
my employee listed, I would have got the same check.
Exactly. But yeah, so for whatever reason, now the other thing which I did not mention because I ran out of room, but this was actually Jim Steranko art on that.
Cool.
He actually was the one that, because he's a big pulp collector, and so he actually was involved in this fan club and all that kind of stuff. So I could have listed Jim Steranko, I just ran out of room. But I knew it would sell just because others have sold for that as well. Cool. So definitely do keep a look at this. I know a lot of people out there collect pinbacks, and it's kind of a neat little pinback there. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. You can help us by hitting the like button, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.